Well, considering the opposing team
America's
is
Clash
yet
today,
to
12-hour
win
stream. Yeah,
a
I
single
think
map,
it's pretty
you'd
much
say
on the cards.
statistically yes, but I do think going into this, there's a good opportunity.
Okay, we've got Koi in
for
defense.
Koi.
We've got Gentleman's on
Realistically, all
attack.
pressure is off.
And
I think there's, with rumors, there's very much potential.
yeah,
we
it
don't
doesn't
see this roster in
really
this
mean
form
much
once again,
this
so
one.
I think we've seen them get very close to winning maps and then
Definitely
sort
some
of
people
choke
in
down
Koi are
on them,
playing
so
for
I
their
have hopes, and also going into a map where last
time in
out
tier 1,
Click
I
was
guess.
0 and 8 in opening duels. So we'll have to wait and see if he has a slightly better performance here today.
Lots to keep an eye on for Gentlemates. You've seen the birthday buff. It's McWanker's birthday. And of course, although he's not on the server, hitting those shots, maybe those inspirational words from the birthday boy will help them out along the way. From Movistar Koi, defensive start on split. Icebox is there.
It's
Pick,
kind of nice
so
from Gentleman's to
chose
get
the
one
side.
inside over
See if
towards
they can
heaven.
put up the rounds here on split.
They do
Already
have
there's been a bit of a
Dom.
pump fake
We
from
can
Gentlemates.
drone.
Pressure
Plays
towards
all
this
the
A
heaven.
site. The drone's going to spot one towards the
And
top
the
of
wall
ramp.
wasn't
The
up
idea
here
is
as
to
well,
take
so they
the spike
can
back
pretty
to
much
middle.
clear
They
full
can
info
test
here.
there
They
with
know it's
3
just one.
players rotated into heaven. Movistar Koi have left be a little bit lighter and puts a lot of pressure on Flya to keep this mid control.
Yeah, he saw the last
It's a weird way
one.
to...
They'll even
So
have
there's at least some
Like when they
information.
clear here, I think he needs to be
Solcast's
popping
in
the
a pretty
smoke, but
solid position, looking to try and hold the line.
Nice
First
shots.
goes his way, second as well for Solcast. Kicking things off with a bang and looking for a little bit more. He's going to run out of
He
bullets.
did good
though.
damage,
But
though.
He's bought a lot of time. 17 seconds. Making
mean,
their
that's
way
the
to
round
site.
done with the
Flyers in
spike
the
here
way.
now.
He got there in the end, and well, the clock is all but
this
gone.
is something I was saying about Koi. Their pistol record is like really bad, but honestly, if they can win some pistols, they might.
Let's just end it here.
Yeah,
Might
1-0.
actually
There we go, done.
start winning
Off to
some games.
Icebox.
We're going
Now,
to offset yesterday's map, and
It's like you were saying, Sue's trying to rig the result. Looks
He
like
did-
you're doing
you
well.
did legs yesterday,
What's that
Reprovice?
about?
I'd like Koi to get a map.
That's what I. A step in the right direction.
And they're both out, so I'm allowed to be biased.
A step in the right direction.
Schmarky with the
pistol
prime.
round
Thank you with
under
the 3
their
months,
belt.
mate. Thank you,
And now
thank
the
you.
investment, it's going to be a heavy investment indeed. Flya, who's playing around
Which
mid
seems more
with a
likely to win the
Judge and
series. The
rest
series
of
is
the
actually
squad
very
on field,
close.
who I
Most people would
suppose
say
on the
Gentlemen to like
Everybody
heavy
else
favorites,
with
but
bulldogs to play with.
I think it
does
should be
mean
pretty
that the margin
close.
for error is very
Koi,
low. You don't want to see players going down to
Again,
these
Koi can't
pistols.
win pistol
At
rounds.
least to start, Philo's able
They've
to
never
make
had
it
good
out of
starts
that
since
initial
pretty much any of their
utility
games.
dump.
Apart from like 2
Good
maps
spray
maybe.
through the smoke's going to catch Zipan.
Expectation here for mates is nothing. They
Who do
don't
you think is the
invested into
problem
this
in
round
mates?
at all.
You
Saving
realize it's not
purely for the
necessarily
buy round.
always like who
Felix
is an
doesn't
issue.
have the best position for a Marshall,
Like I
but
think
I've said
Apex
that
can be a
before.
good
He still
example.
managed
Like
to get a couple,
I don't think
and
their
then
issues
Rubinho
is
is there to
individuals
clean up the
really.
mess. What
I think
they've
they don't
lost
play
really isn't much at all.
Valorant
It's just
great.
that Marshall is the lowest value weapon, and they'll keep everything
think
else going
the,
forward. A very good start for
I think just looking for
Movistar
players
Koi.
to be
Something I kind of want to
issue
touch on a little bit
isn't
is
always the
I'm a
right way to
little
do
bit
it.
surprised by the map choices. If you go off previous results,
Gentlemen's Skins
both
playoffs,
of
no.
these teams weren't particularly good. A 6-13 defeat versus Liquid.
Click's been underperforming
5-13
though. I'll give you
defeat,
that. That is true.
versus Liquid. So I guess that one extra round was enough for Gentlemates to think, oh, this is our map.
Well, you know, you lose or you learn.
Sometimes
right?
it's the coach, yeah.
Investment coming back through
Sometimes
from
it is the
Movistar
coach.
Koi is going to be onto an outlaw, having lost themselves a Marshall. Rubinho, the one to take that for the B hold, and a decent bit of potential if they can land some damage early. But Gentlemates have gone full shields. Of course, it's a very healthy investment.
Warning shot.
We got the bait over towards mid as well.
Oh,
Dude, think about it.
oh,
Zipan, he was trying so heavy to shoot this drone. Why are you not checking this corner?
For that Viper to do some damage late
You've been
round.
playing the game for 5 years.
It's just the control
You must
itself.
realize that someone's over the
Click.
top going to
His
shoot a drone
opening duel
here.
statistics don't seem to be improving as he has fallen once again.
Well,
And in this
3
round,
pass
it's
and
much
stack.
more of a problem.
And at one point as well, we can carry on
Rotation
going
already
fast
in
behind with the
thick and
judge.
fast with that sniper set up on B. 3 players now ready and waiting over on this A site. There's not really much of a surprise here from Gentlemates.
And then Flash goes in, still not through the choke point on this.
Let's see if the weaponry disadvantage plays a role.
Yeah,
The
this is getting a
Bulldogs
little scary.
up against the Vandals.
Is
that
it
are in
Omen
play on the
smoke
other
coming
side.
here
They're
as well?
cutting through them with ease, it seems. The decoy used, but not to great effect.
Dude, 20
Damage
seconds,
done
double
onto
side
mid,
hold.
leads to
Shadow
man
still has a
advantage
flash.
Still held. This is going to be a tough site push. Whether they even know the rotations have come through, that there's so many players. Okay, Breach utility goes out, 12 seconds. They've dropped Breach, don't know about Solkas.
No,
They
boss.
found him just in time. The plant will come through, and well, Gentlemates bailed out of a bad situation because of
Yeah,
those
they
miss.
just didn't really play together there.
seemed like that was a really good opportunity. Now Zipan's late lurk leaves it all on
Rudy,
to Rubinho.
Rudy 244 with the prime. Thank you
Mitch's
so much,
favourite
dude. Thank
gun
you
in
for doing it.
hand.
Appreciate the
Two of
prime
them
usage.
one shot.
Just like Mitch, this probably isn't going to work.
Well, Rubinho's looking to make it a bit more palatable after the first, but that was Kamek. Needed a headshot onto him. 150 health keeps him alive. Stop smiling, Tom. I don't like that.
You really wanted that to work.
I really did.
That's so bad.
I really did.
Do you think Bonko will get signed during stage 2? Yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't been signed already, to be honest.
Well, you've been on the watch party, so you're basically halfway there.
Yeah.
Although I don't think you're very popular over there.
No, well, listen, I've redeemed my reputation a little bit, I suppose. They enjoyed my Spanish skills. Can't debut them here.
I imagine teams are
especially 'cause I'm
already
producer
in
Spanish,
talks
you know
with
exactly
him,
what you're
I would
saying.
say,
You can't get away with it.
Alberto's in my
just
ear.
in case.
But 2-1. That was
I can think of a couple of
decent
teams.
attempt, though, from Movistar Koi. Good damage done. The bigger investment in round 2 gives them decent weaponry for the next. The Outlaw managed to put a few dents in Gentlemate's economy for this one, as they have to invest pretty deep. And light shields with damage on Zipan as well. Light shields for Mini. That's Rubinho in with a chance if he spots either of those
Liquid? No,
players
Liquid
early on.
coaches are
Zipan, the
legit.
Outlaw back into action.
Out goes Little Bud again. Just in case.
Just in case,
No
yeah.
one taking the chance after Dirk's shenanigans at kickoff, so just making sure they haven't got too much ground. It's very slow and tempered.
Talk about
from
Bonkar,
the
yeah,
side of
yeah.
Gentlemates.
I think
Trying to
if
just
you're
take
Bonkar as
control
well,
across
you
the
at
map,
least wait
work the
for
space and see if they can find
you
any
wait for
aggressive positioning,
all
but
regions
there
to
really isn't
finish
much, other than maybe
their
A main,
stage.
you could argue. Flyers off angle here could be a nasty surprise. Not
Ooh,
quite
do
connecting the
the
shot though.
this flash.
There's an opening duel for Click on the attack. Nice to see. Zipan with the trade keeps numbers in their favor. Here comes the Outlaw swinging in, and it's Zipan shutting him down at 2v3, and the defender's offside.
Once he loses heaven, should he be either playing spawn or playing back a site? Yes, he
Nice
should
and
be.
close, and he has support as well. They
Especially
go
with
for
his
that
gun
deep
there.
swing.
Like with his gun there, he's got to either
Now for
TP to back
Filu.
a site,
He could
or he's
even
got to
decide
go
to just
here,
save
in my
this
opinion.
weapon through to the next.
I just don't think he can ever do
1v3's
too
not
much
looking
on
likely.
site with
No
that.
one's
Or he's
tagged
just got to peek
low,
over
and
towards B
Zipan-
main. Basically anything other than what
We
he
know
did.
On the Movistar Koi side, you just hit tab, you know that he's got his ultimate, but we can even see salvos are online. There's a stun for Kamek. They've reset
Coach
into that.
FNS?
Well,
FNS wouldn't
I say
coach.
passive
I think it'd
post
be...
That's not quite passive, and it's not like
It
he needs
doesn't
orbs either.
it doesn't
But
really
again,
cure the
Zipan's just
itch for
feeling
competitive play enough.
Yeah, and that's a good sign. Like you look
And
back
it's
to
very
the series he
stressful.
played last
It's a
week
lose-lose
versus
situation
BGL,
majority
10
of the
and
time, especially when he
36
has like
across the series.
an
So,
incredibly
very,
successful
very
stream
rough
waiting
time.
for him.
And we've seen
So
that a few times.
I don't think
I
he'll do
believe
that.
there was a map as well where a Mini
He'd be
got
good
only
at it, but
2
he wouldn't do
kills. Like these stars that we've sort of talked about on this mate's roster that they've slowly been building, at times have just gone completely missing. So I think a map that Zipan's always been particularly comfortable on. You think back to FPX, Navi, this was one of their strong suits, and him picking up the Teo
Nice punto.
gets him
Nice,
that
guys.
little bit more aggressive. And 6 and 2, he's already 4 kills away from the entire series of last week.
That's not a great metric, really, is it?
What's my
Far
predictions
easier
for
fruit,
Pipson?
but
What do you
that's a
mean?
good thing.
Hopefully
I
set a
think
little
Giants are going to
higher
keep him,
than
if that's
last
what you're
week.
asking. It looks like
Well, very
they're...
weak investment from Movistar Koi. Of course, they've got themselves the
So they're
Vandals
confident
saved
with
through by
the
Filu.
two
The rest of the
UCAM
squad,
pickups.
though, just on pistols. Something tells me this could be a little bit of a bumpy ride for Gentlemates. Movistar Koi always a team that show up when you count them out historically, and well, this is one of those rounds where I would count them out.
Well, they
Purple
also seem to show
runner,
up
from
when
what
they
I've
are
seen,
statistically
I
out.
would...
No,
Tournament
not
life
just-
gone,
Oh,
and
it's
they're
hard,
done
man.
when you
They
count
both
them out.
struggled
When
on
they are
maps.
out, they're
I
normally,
don't know. I haven't
the
seen
bane of a
enough.
lot of people's lives,
Probably
so
from
we'll
what we've
see
just
if that is
seen, I
the
would
case.
choose runner.
I'll
That's
say as
about
well,
it.
whenever I see a
But it's not like I feel
one-shot
super
gun
confident
in Soulcaster's hands,
in that. Runner
I feel
looked
like
pretty
he's at
good on the
least gonna
scent,
get one,
and
like
it just looked like he
Guardian
hadn't had
and the
practice
Sheriff
on
fits the bill as well.
Lotus.
Always had very good
So I
first
can't
bullet
really
accuracy,
be
and it seems
too
like he might come under some pressure here.
angry
Two
about it.
players
But,
sat outside A, bent,
I don't know,
being
it kind of
taken.
depends how
I
they've been
think
doing
they
in
just
prac
heard
and
the
stuff.
steps. They have just heard them running through the spawn, and because of that, I think they're a little bit more hesitant of which direction they're going, and in fact, they are now heading towards B.
Yeah, again, it's
22
gonna be
mums,
perfect
Snacky token as
utility
well.
thrown
Thank you so
into
much.
A, keeping those
Appreciate the
players in
prime. Thank
position.
you.
A
Thank you
orb
for that.
taken by
30
Rubinho
seconds
here as he steps back out. Cadden
Goodbye.
holding him
Oh.
from up top.
Goodbye
Survives the
soon.
first blast at least.
Well,
He's completely
get a
surrounded.
lot
No
here.
way out. Deep push from Click. It's a risk up against pistols,
Opening kill.
but it's an opening pick. Exactly.
Clean
dude,
as
look at
well.
Mini's been
Stats.
holding this
Mini's
the
got
whole
held in
time.
here. Grabinho eventually falls, and a big play towards the spawn. The rifle on Filu, though, the one that you've got to watch out for. Solkas pops the head of Click.
Called it.
Mechanically, who is better? Depends if you talk about practice or officials.
Well, I mean,
In practice, Purple is definitely better. In officials,
and that's exactly what they're going to do.
it probably is Runner.
Yeah, chances of winning a 2 versus 4, even with the upgraded weaponry.
We've never seen the full Purple
like
potential.
You'd have to clear all of heaven and everything else in between, so they have just decided, hold on to the guns. It's a little bit of bonus cash going forward. Maybe if they want to get an operator in. We've already seen them run an outlaw on Grabinho. And hey, Kamik's even going to help them out a little bit going down to the spike.
Always nice to get a helping hand. 2 to 3. Early game sees a timeout from Movistar Koi. Not happy with how things have gone so far. You win the pistol, the follow-up, and then there's a few bumps in the road.
Scrim leaks? No, I'm talking about when we used to scrimming.
Ults are coming online for Gentlemates. Some
And
are
then
already
I've heard
there.
it's a similar thing.
The same can be said for Movistar Koi with 3 ultis, 2 of which can be used in decent combination.
Dwarman,
with
thank you
Filu
so much for the
and
Prime
Solkas.
as well. Appreciate the
Dimensional drift
6
going through
months.
to
Thank
find
you,
the
thank you.
information. And the Armageddon rain down hell upon them. We'll see what coaching staff has up their sleeve for this one. So far, it feels like at least once those rifles come out, the confidence is sky high for these Mates players. You're seeing Click find those opening duels. You're seeing these deeper approaches to post plants, pre-plants as well, with Kick pushing into spawn in the last round. That overconfidence is something that certain teams will be able to punish quite easily.
Yeah, and I also say as well, for Mates, they're probably one of the few teams that has been eliminated that can actually feel like they were within a chance. Like,
I mean, maybe Dust, but if they've been working with them,
I think it was
I think there's some people that
14-12, they lost one 18-16.
will always
they were a
have
squad
that.
that had some very, very close games. I will say, after they lost in overtime, every second map they got smashed. Like, that happened pretty much every time. I think maybe the mental side of things is something they need to work on a little bit more. But you're going to come into this series actually looking at this as, okay,
all right,
we can get a champs point. That might help us going
timeout.
I think for Movistar Koi, as I said,
After
with rumors that are going around,
the
there's going to
3
be some more
buy rounds in a row,
changes, so
they
it's
can't
very
play
different
events.
outlook
Well, at least
for each
Yori's
squad.
playing
Some
events.
maybe wanting to
I
display
say they
the
can't
value
play
they
events
still
because of the
bring,
ult, but Yori can obviously
and others
TP
maybe
out of
looking
there.
at where they'll go next.
It's always dangerous to play in vents when you're up against that salvo combo, but luckily there is that gate crash to fall back to. The util found its way into Filu.
That's mad that he gets that.
Running through an orb. I think he was vulnerable too.
Dude, everyone's doing a complete madness.
It is answered back on by Flya at least, but yeah, indeed, that was through a snake bite and an orb. Look how low Click is even after the decay fades away. That's a ballsy play, and I think again feeds into that point that they are feeling massively confident.
Grabinho under pressure.
Whoa.
Rolling Thunder.
Tail or into breach
well.
over towards
I'm
heaven.
surprised they don't do the combination
Yeah.
the other way around.
Yeah,
I agree, but
yeah, either at the same time or you Rolling Thunder and then do it behind so that it hits a stun player. But I guess just wanting to make sure
at least get the sight here. Then don't get
clear,
good plant.
maybe
Clickers
catch
is
anybody who
all.
pushed forward instead. Now they have to deal with the ultimate on the other side.
Damn, there might have been some
Mini
nice
has
shots
just
there.
Deleted a couple of players. The star power of the IGL shining through once again. And
Okay,
once
Koi
more
getting
with
absolutely
Grabinho,
wrecked in the
the
buy
first
round. So
man
this is a
on
good.
the site.
This is a good
And
understanding
now
from
running away it
John's
is
mates though.
not what they were looking for. And I want to
3
touch
people
back
that
on
can't
what I
buy if they
mentioned
win it.
earlier. Click when playing the Raze
Or if they lose it,
with
sorry.
0 and 8 in opening duels. I think
C9
right
against
now he might be
Sen,
like
it should be
3
really
and 1.
close.
Like, he's
I
had a
still think the
really
C9 been
good
overall
start to this
playing
game, and
better,
we haven't
more
seen this
consistently
guy
on more
anywhere near
maps,
the
but
potential I think
doesn't
we
mean they're going to win.
expected. So even if this is just like, okay, this is a confidence mover, this is me proving how good I can be, I think that has its value as well.
Oh, 100%. Just to build him up as an individual. And like we're saying, the overconfidence perhaps early on, it's not being punished. The fact that a man just ran through a snakebite orb with a player holding from inside a vent, that flash I don't think even caught him. No, it didn't. And he still wins the duel. That is just phenomenal. Now, a little overeager perhaps from Kata, trying to take the heaven control. They're pincering that aggression. Oh, that is
His second
nasty.
shot's nice.
Get that again in slow motion. The headshot on the second too. That's what we'd like to see. All right, well, that's one way to motivate the boys. But yeah, for Movistar Koi, they just faced into a very weird setup. The fact that the ults are timed in the way they are to get Click the space on backside and maybe a fight up
Ave,
close.
yeah, thank you
Grabinho
so much,
falls
dude.
back,
Appreciate the
players
10
are
months
pushed
as well.
forward,
Thank
but
you for the
also
prime.
keeping them back with the Rolling Thunder up
Thank
into
you so
heaven.
much.
It was a
Oh, that
big
is
delay.
That stun didn't hit.
We talked about overconfidence. You see
Yeah,
the
I
stun
mean,
don't connect,
he thought
still
the stun was gonna hit. I guess
emergence from the
it looked like he
dimensional
committed
drift, a
before
very
the stun had
aggressive
even
play
gone
indeed.
through. But
I did not expect him to stick around, maybe to take a gate crash, maybe to get
I mean,
to cover before
the stun
coming
should
out,
be
but,
hitting though.
well, it's being punished now.
I think that the stun was close, so maybe just a slight mystery. But also, I guess once your team commits, you just go, okay, I'm committing. I'm hopefully going to hit this shot and just take the risk. We see a lot of duelists at the moment taking some pretty hefty gambles when it comes to Yoru, so I'm not really too mad about that, but finding a response
He wouldn't have
now in
gone
this round
the
is
kill.
not
He
going
timed
to
it
be
pretty
easy.
well. Like the stun,
3
once it
versus
hits you
5.
initially, still messes up your aim like first time.
Managed the entries on the B
He probably
side,
would have
sorry,
got the
on
kill.
A side last time out.
The stun was definitely rough.
And with Shados not isolated, but if a
That's way
smoke
too
goes
strong,
down,
Phoenix.
might be left in a slightly more troublesome position. Counter salvos, though, will buy the additional time needed to get a third person to cover off that heaven position.
It's important. You can easily see the wrap back to B if there was a bit more time on the clock, but now 20 seconds as steps are heard in heaven. This is clearly an A committal. Boots on the ground, ready and waiting for the play to come through. It's Grabinho and Flya. Grabinho under pressure again, but look at the amount of backup he has.
Yeah, a bit of a rough round
No
for
way for
Gentleman's
that one to
there,
fall
really.
flat, really,
But,
unless Movistar Koi
nice
whiffed
from
a
Goit.
lot of shots.
Get a lot of
Great
money in there,
read.
4 people surviving.
Players there
No
ahead of
armory
the
buy.
push, and Gentlemates stalling out a little bit. And the other thing is, having committed so many of their ultimates in one of the previous rounds, they don't have a lot to fight back immediately with this. Whereas a bit of conservation.
Yeah, the
coming out
tunnel
of
vision's
Movistar
pretty
Koi,
insane
they've got
there,
Feelers
though.
dimensional drift for early info. And
They
that
didn't
Viper's
even
pit
go
on both
spot the
sides.
Yoru over towards site.
Solid round. I think this could also
The variety in
Gentlemates trying to be a bit disruptive.
Yoru ult at the moment is so different team to team.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's Filu.
Nice shot.
Click is lucky to still be standing. 26 health. Viper's Pit blocking off B. A lot of the time you'll see that placed into middle. Not allow for those splits to be anywhere near as easy. Instead, though, holding on to B main. It has been a pretty contentious part of the map so far, but, well, there's no surprise there's going to be a response into mid.
It's completely abandoning that. You know as well, Flyers being the guy up and around heaven. Salvo sent through. They're down below, though, so safe up top is Grabinho. Solkas with a challenge on
No
his
way.
hands, and he delivers.
Yeah, he did great.
Steps up to the plate for a
Another
double.
time where he gets more than he should have, really.
Chance now for a little bit more with a reposition.
Dude, you know when like the omen
Operator,
smoke
though,
goes and
two
it like
players
kind of
swinging
flashes
quickly. No, in
them?
fact, they're
That's a bug,
separated.
right? Or is
The
it
gate
like
crash
meant
to
to be
just
there?
Get out of there. A valuable pick. Now double the numbers and an idea of where the spike
Been in the
was
game
heading.
for the
so
whole
Filu
time.
sticks around, sights on that choke point, and an easy trade-off.
Easy spot for Canada to try and fight back from. 30 seconds. He can now teleport
Doable
to the
with
B
the
side.
ult. Oh,
which
this
is the
was
plan.
fast though. To see Grabinho?
Close.
Grabinho is really
Careful.
fast on this.
Steps will be heard. He's going to try and bait Grabinho into the
Oh,
flank.
it's
Grabinho
actually
just goes
crazy
swinging.
doable.
That's not worked
You get a
out
good
at
amount of
all.
time from
Turning it
pass
into
safe.
1 versus 2, but that time really is low. 14 seconds.
Oh,
Needs to
I'm
get
not sure
the
about
plant
that,
in.
but
Flyer is nearby, but
it's away of it.
won't make the same mistakes as a teammate once
Ooh.
did. He does give the 1v1 duel,
So-
but this time lands
Some
the
questionable
I think
decisions,
Canada had to
but
make a
all
more
good.
aggressive play there. The 2v1, they can easily play off each other. You've got the op coming back through and Filu with an ult to try to find him if they needed the extra information. So getting ahead of it, especially though in the 1v3.
See what I mean
First
about the
shot,
omen smoke
nasty
there.
click must have already
They could,
been
like,
low, but
reef-
Canada
Yeah, he got
wasn't.
hit by an operator.
Reflashed him
Like
again.
that he did. Legged up. It was nice
They're watching
work.
Americas later
Closed
for
this one
sure.
out in the end, and you saw a sigh of relief from the coaching staff after the
Big
previous
games
round,
tonight.
but now connecting 2 in a row. Little bit of a heater from Movistar
does-
Koi early on.
It does still make me a bit nervous.
tried to
that
take
the
a time
3v1
and smoke
was
heaven, yeah.
Ultimately, still just 1v1.
Well, yeah.
Like that.
I don't mind Grabinho though, because he can cancel the plant there. He can win the round.
Eh,
A lot of the time, Kat is just going to stick that.
maybe.
Maybe if it was anyone.
I think he was too far away though if he'd stuck
I'm a
it.
C9 believer? Yeah, I'm a
At
C9
least for the
believer.
early fight. I don't know. I'd rather.
I think they're
than
playing
just
way too good right now.
confirm the round.
Yeah.
They gave him the one sort of opportunity he had to take it, and then the same thing from Flyer as well. All in all, job got done. Now we look back at the credits, really thinning out for Gentlemates. In fact, Kada already down to a Guardian, although that might be more by choice. He does have a few extra credits left in the bank. Viper's Pit. All
Yeah,
have
they've got a free
available.
site.
Yeah, versus the Dimensional
They can
Drift,
retake with
it's
the Yoru ult.
not quite as valuable an ult as you might think.
Wait, is that?
But it's time to take space for Gentlemates. But look
Guys.
at Zolkas, he's crept his way
Ow.
through. Somehow doesn't connect the kill. Zipan survives and Mini punishes before it gets out of hand. The re-peek from Shados. It is
Let's go for 3.
1v1
Yeah,
battle.
and it's like,
One
well,
by
we
one,
can't
they're
really
peeking. One by
retake
one,
with our
they're
ult
falling.
now.
Coming down ramp, it looks like the same thing. Gravino miles
Oh
ahead,
boy,
and he'll lose the fight. No
this
turning
aim,
point.
this aim off is not the
It's
one,
not
man.
what we'd like to see. They're
Three
grouped up a little bit. The snake bite
three
separates
angels
them. And
that
look
they
at the
should have
damage
won.
going.
We put the
Cat and
X's
Zipan.
all
Back
in
to
the
back to
line.
back.
So
That's really,
desperately
really
low.
rough.
They're saving. They're calling the run back, but the thing is, mates have already read that. They're starting to wrap around. Click's got a lot of space.
Whiff, yeah,
towards
is a
heaven.
whole
He's
round
hearing
loss
them
from
run down
whiffs.
bottom mid, and that's the. Oh well, Kamek's got to get his weapon out very soon. That's a bit of a mistake.
Guys, I think we should swing A ramp. I've got an idea. Definitely not gone to plan. And hoping that each individual player could catch a timing. Yeah, they are literally right next to each other. That's the first, or that's 2 of them, and then one was obviously the third, Gravidio, a little bit further down the ramp, but yeah, disjointed from Koi, and well, fool me once, shame on me. I don't know what happens when you get to the third.
No, like especially we
man.
saw the rotation come through, and I can understand you had one player, Filu, with an AWP holding up top, waiting for the peak further deeper into main that probably would come off the back of that initial fight. Now, if your guy on ramp wins that battle, you might get 2 picks out of that situation. You could be back to a 3v3, but again,
That's the
you
mental
wait
killer
a
right
couple
there.
extra
Yeah,
seconds,
maybe.
your third
Especially if
player's
they lose
there.
this round,
He
it's
can
going to
go
feel
down
pretty
ramp with you. You
demoralizing.
can look for the trade together and have that all posted. But more so the first 2 fights.
Cost the F chill.
The individual
Still a lot of time.
Big mistake that got punished immediately. Snake bite to slow, but Cat has already passed it. They're looking to get aggressive in heaven. Obviously, Koi have a setup for it though. Paranoia is good. No way out for Click. He's caught, but Kata swings through. Almost catches Gravino through the smoke. That's a good return. Numbers back to equal footing, but Filu with the AWP. He's got a good position. He's got cover from Gravino as well, and the ult's going to be used.
What's the
just to
2 on
spot out
site?
these final
Gravino's in a
players.
really rough
He's using it
spot.
to retreat, but he's kind of left Grabinho behind. He'll at least keep that man advantage going, and more importantly, the space that has been guarded. Mini, though, from above, we know how deadly this
Where's
guy
my B
can
main
be.
swing?
A quick double,
Ah, it's
and
so
even
late.
spots
Ooh,
out
he hit
because
that.
This guy's crosshair
shots.
placement is literally perfect.
A really nice
Wonderful
shot. The
stuff
last
from
is probably the
Mini once
nicest
again.
one.
That's a nice closeout to the round. But taking a look back in the replay, you can see decent setup to
Yeah,
start
I've
with. Kata
split
taking
an
the trade up top.
icebox.
I
I'm
was
honestly
waiting
not
to see
too
that
sure
actual
on this one.
drift activate.
I mean, I went
Because like you said,
for
Tom, it did leave his teammates
I
in a
went
bit
for
of an awkward
Gentlemates with
spot.
this,
He
but
is just
I don't really know about maps. I didn't look too deep into it.
Gets the first 2 kills.
Let's go,
and then he's
guys. I'm
like,
him, guys.
You're
Yes,
doing all
let's
right on
go.
your own. I'm just gonna leave. I'll see you later.
The
But
stakes
I
for
guess it's
today's
just the
games,
operator
not the
in that
highest
scenario,
until we
they're
get to
coming from above,
Americas.
You are dead. Like the chance of you hitting that flick, so he tries to reposition, but it kind of maybe seems that maybe communication was off a little bit.
Gravino's coming in like, I've got your back. I'll be there with you.
Nice
Wait,
shot.
where are you? Where'd you go? Well, Movistar Koi pushing mid early on, getting aggressive on the defensive side, and it's netted them an opening pick. Cadaver the one to fall. Those smokes now pretty much out of the game. It's just the orb that can be positioned by Mini and the wall that he's already put down. He's looking to take an opening pick for themselves. The walk into side is risky. No one's spotting it, but there's a breach just there, just seeing them.
Oh my
no,
goodness,
the
why?
utility came out from Shados. That is a disaster.
God, this
They have
team's
just
this team
contacted
actually
into the
melts,
A side,
don't they?
and Movistar Koi took heaven control, fought down to ramp, but it's almost worse for Filu. He's surrounded now. Players can come from both sides. He finds one, but it's traded out. Click grabs one on site, and it's a 3v1. Early aggression was great, Tom, but that gap that they left on A so quickly exploited by
God, they just got
Gentlemate.
so
I'm
owned
at a
in the
loss
buy
for words on
rounds.
that.
There is
But
a round
I mean,
close.
Koi
Yeah,
just
I
makes
think
so
the
many
only
individual,
people, or the only way
even
the
mistakes, or they just
Gentlemates were
lose
stunned in that round
angels,
was
so
the
they
fact
should be
the
winning.
stun went through and they go, I think he's there.
I feel like they're just so
How
mentally
have we
out of
managed to
it
get
as
this
well.
far? But again, it just seems like a lapse in communication in those moments where you have a guy heaven who's just not watching.
What is that?
At all. You have a guy sight.
Unless that's like a mouse bug or something.
Yeah,
but
the guy. That's what I mean. They literally turned at that moment and go, he's just let off a stun from the sight.
Think about how long he wasn't holding that.
Are they online again? Yeah.
I mean, prepping a stun.
There's
sure,
no
but
KD
that's
shown.
what I mean. I feel like it must then be miscommunication that he thinks the guy heaven
No
is
tech
watching
poses yet
him
though,
for a
but
stun, and then he's the same
still
the
good
other
the
way
whole day.
That's disastrous.
The Koi just just need to win pistols
Fire,
narrative.
they have
Yeah,
the
that's
opening pick
literally in the
this
bin, isn't
round.
it?
Beelu, he gets one on one side, he gets one on the other. He's literally got a kill on each extremity. That's the duelist you want. The quick switch ups. And what, the TP?
Oh,
got worried
my.
for a second, but this time the sight hold
God.
from Shados has worked out. And that is the spike in the corner of the site.
It was an audacious play, but Kata probably assumed that Shados would have a stun out the whole time. So, fair enough. He found out that
They
he's
got 5 on defense with a pistol against the solo Yoru.
Primary equip. Final round salts are going to be thrown at this, and a
Give him a
decent
little
read
bit
of where
of
Mini
space
might be.
Doing a free area.
He knows that's a clone behind him.
There you go.
Finds the first. Fly it down. Rolling Thunder, though. That's going to end the round. Surely Shados hot on his tail. And will land
That was a good
himself
attempt,
another kill
dude.
to
5
close
of
out
a
the
pistol is
half.
pretty rough here.
7-5. A tight
They had their
one to start
chances
us
as
out here
well.
on Split. Movistar Koi, they've done well, winning the pistol and sprinkling a few more rounds throughout. Let's see how their attack side goes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Movistar Koi are going to be able to turn this at times. They have definitely been within this map. We'll have to wait and see until after the break.
Shados, I mean, yeah, he is a beast. Normally, it's definitely, I don't know, it's hard with Shados because it's like he hasn't been great, I guess, for a while. You've seen what he's done in the past, and it could be down to team stuff. And he's often getting played in different roles that he used to play as well. So there's always that. Mental also, yeah, it could be that also. That also was a while ago, so you never know. Who's been Koi's best player this year? Beelu? Guess. Zero minimum with the Prime. Thank you so much for the 18 months. Thank you for doing that, mate. Games are mad for playoffs now. Both these teams are out. And honestly, the champ points don't even matter for these two teams. Like, even if they came third in the next playoffs, I still don't think they would have enough to go to champs. So they're kind of just like fully out. The stage 1 was just too rough for them. Uncle Nyan as well. Thank you so much for the Prime. Appreciate the 7 months. Thank you for that.
As we're starting on Split, Gentlemate's pick Icebox up next. That's where Koi wanted to take the battle, Tom.
You see King say he's going to go back to IGL on Lev? I mean, they got a lot of time, I guess, so that's not the worst.
Not really, no. I would be surprised if they're able to do it.
It's like they're
especially versus Liquid,
swapping and changing, though.
Going into the attack.
Yeah, as long as they commit, I don't really mind. Haste with the Prime, thank you for the whole year as well, mate. Thank you for the Prime usage.
Being optimistic, he could be the sort of
the
guy
original
that can
Smart,
take
thank
over
you so
some
much
of
for the
these
Prime.
rounds.
Also, appreciate the 6 months.
We'll
Thank you for doing that.
What if you're being pessimistic?
Why did they kick Natank? No idea.
Then the opposite.
I don't think he was outstanding, but I don't think he did anything wrong. From an outside POV. You got to remember, we see like 10%. I think I'm being generous with 10% of what happens in teams. So all we can judge off is that.
Big burst from
Pistols at the moment, 1-0.
B-side is overtaken. The lurk from Flya. Well, listen, it's going to be a while before that finds value, but a thorn in their side. You can already see mates clearing deep into mid. They're looking for him, knowing that Flya is going to be late to the party. Flya is on his way around through the spawn. So that's going to be for the later stage. It's Filu with the challenge up close, and the Classic's doing decent damage, but he got there ahead of the Paranoia. The players
I mean, you
keen to
got
take that fight. But look at the flank. Finally coming through. They forgot about him. And they certainly shouldn't have. Flyer with the triple.
the
The round
double
quickly
pistol.
falls into Movistar
I said
Koi's
all they
hands
needed
as
to
a
do is
result.
start winning some
I
pistols.
believe
Let's
that's
see.
both pistols as well. Going
Let's
in
see
their
if they can
direction, so getting
actually
off to
win this one.
Strong starts in
Then
the
the
half.
narrative
It
is
was
just
in
fully
the
dead if they
majority of buy
lose a
rounds
map
where
with
they
double pistol.
Definitely struggled that a little bit more. I'm also thinking back, like I remember the early rounds of the game and talking about Click getting opening kills. I think literally what 3 of his 4 kills are opening
Will I
kills.
still
and then
watch
everything
EMEA
else
if
is
it crosses
wrecked.
over today? It depends on how
Pretty
close the
much,
match is, really.
3 opening
We'll
duels,
judge it.
5 lost as well.
Because normally I'll stick with
But,
EMEA, but
I think he got 6. Was he 6
the
and
second game
16
today is like
last time he
relatively
played
big.
Split. So
And it
We'll
was
see.
a good start.
If it's like full of loads of tech pauses, then I'll probably
Like
switch.
those weren't
If
just
it's like
standard
just
picks.
long because it's a
Those
good
weren't even
game, then
picks
I'll
where your
probably stick.
opponent's making mistakes. He was running through snake
6
bites and
2025
poison
as well.
again,
Thank you for the
like
4
we
months,
said,
mate. Appreciate you doing
this
that.
is
Thank you,
something
thank
that
you.
You can look at as
No
confidence,
buys here,
but
dude.
at one
Everyone
point,
buys
some
up.
overconfidence,
Oh, they
and
shouldn't
I
be
think
getting
we hit
eco'd
that
with this
point
buy.
with
I'll say that
them being
much.
more consistently
Hello,
punished
Weber,
here
mate.
in the,
How you
or
doing?
in the pistol round just a second ago. You saw the same thing. He goes out aggressive. There is utility to back him up, but he loses the fight. That leaves them in a
Flyer
pretty
hasn't
tough
been much of a
position with the
fragging
instant
IGL.
pulse out
I don't think
onto
he
the
ever
B-side from
was
Movistar Koi.
I think they've gone
in
far
tier
enough with
2.
no resistance
I didn't
that
follow
they're starting
enough,
to
but
read into the idea that there's nobody here.
It's a B stack, a mid
Yeah.
stack.
And that is
it'll be interesting to
wrong.
see what teams do next
There
year.
are 4 players
We had a lot of
currently
imports
waiting.
from
Zipan's position is going to be cleared out, but there
Americas
is
this
currently
year.
a smoke down. That's going to get pushed completely. The Flyer already managing an opener. Now, there really isn't much to play with. Zipan's going to try and take the angle. His teammate was just in, but he's been ruined as well. And what started as a stack now becomes just 2 players with classics. It seems like not much being invested whatsoever. And while Mini will
Jaws,
at least do it
thank
for
you
the
so much,
bundle.
bro. I appreciate
It's
that.
key how quickly Movistar Koi make that
Thank you,
read, right?
thank
They're
you.
not flooding into the space
Okay, let's
after
just
the
double check the
opening or
feeler
even the
changes
second pick. 'Cause once
gun.
they
I
realize
imagine
this
he
guy here, he's
did.
been playing super slow. Second dude in the corner, it must be a stack up. There must be a
Thanks so
trap
much for that,
that
Jules.
they were waiting to spring, and the first guy was a scout to see if they needed an early rotation. So they avoid the trap, springing on their opponents instead, and minimal losses, 7-7, tying up the scoreline as well. But this is what
Did
we
you
saw
see
in the
Frost
first half.
talking about
Found
Paperex
the
making
first
it
two,
to
and it was a
Toronto?
streak of
Wait, for real?
rounds once rifles fell
Is this a
into
new
the hands of
podcast?
Gentlemates. We'll see if that's going to be the same now. That Movistar Koi
I try
on
and
the attack.
tune into
Talked
those
about
podcasts.
investment.
They're
It's a
always
decent one.
they're always entertaining.
1% pistol win rate. Well, they are doing a lot better.
Does that include today?
Dude, he didn't pick up the
I'm guessing that's
the gun in
probably
time.
mismatch.
Probably not, right?
I would assume so.
If you add in a couple from today, I guess it's only 1 map, but yeah, that
He's
is
in the
very-
train. Depends
Last
when he
time
switched,
around,
man.
we
He might be
had
on top of the train right
mates
now.
with a very heavy
Might have got a
investment
rough
to
seat.
judge as well. The one downside
He's hanging
here
on
for
to the train by the
Movistar
sounds
Koi
of
is
it, though.
They've got a ghost, but
Maybe he
it's
was
still a
early on,
very
you never
healthy
know.
buy. And perhaps the ghost is even an upside because it's one less weapon that they can lose. It's an extra margin for error coming into a round like this where mates will be swinging for the fences. Now, a lot of presence taken for free. And this is because Zipan is waiting for the push-up, but the drone spots him, but dealing with him seems to be another thing entirely.
crash.
Filu at least able to shut him down. The flash well placed, but Click right on his case. Returned by Flyer, though, and this is getting very scary for Gentlemates. Not only the players they've lost, but weapons potentially retrieved.
Yeah, there's the upgrade, but just before, Kamik will be able to clear one.
Okay, I mean, no
Rubinho
matter what, it's a
hooked in
good bonus.
towards heaven, knowing that's the real point of danger. Ultimate's
Ooh,
not
shot.
particularly close. He's hit a dink, but for
Wait,
I think like
it did like
40
no
damage.
damage. Yeah, it did literally did like
Onto
20
the player
damage.
above. Luckily for mates.
Spike planted.
And you'd think that in this moment both players would be isolated to the side, but it's not the case. Grabinho's already on the wraparound back towards heaven. Soulcast doesn't really have a way out of here, but he's going to try and just sell the ruse, try and keep all eyes in this direction. And well, they've used the aftershock to clear him, but
Oh,
then
he
they haven't
didn't-
kept an eye on
didn't
the spot.
hold for
That's
the
given a
damage.
free battle for him to find on the other side, and they still have absolutely no idea where one of the players is. That's Grabinho, but now he has to try and make a move. Smoke onto the spike, spam coming in. He's walked into the spam. That's definitely a problem. A mistake for the side of mates, and just on the other side, they've got done.
Oh boy.
Grabinho's gonna
Well,
win it with a Red Bull clutch.
it's a pistol
And to be
into a
honest with you,
into a
I don't
bonus.
really know how.
That is one round beyond explanation. I'd love to see a telestrator on that one.
Yeah,
really
you
break it
probably
down.
got to
I would
spam
like
back
Billy
there,
to,
but
I think it's a Billy.
you gotta
Billy
spam back or
telestrator,
jump
we're
through and then
already
both commit.
requesting Clip it and
She's
ship it.
She's gonna beat herself.
Yeah. We're going to be in trouble after this one.
That door's gonna swing off the hinges.
What a great shot.
And what an insane round. The fact that you have salvos
One of the
on
rounds of all
Soul 'cause
time,
he
yeah.
takes the fight here, loses it,
Yeah.
and we're into a 1v2 that somehow he catches the first player running through the smoke. The spam's
We're not even
missing.
running into the spam.
Yeah, right, exactly. He was still spraying. He must have been thinking that magazine's about to run dry, but no, he reloaded before the fight. Mates, this leaves them in a terrible
What is this skin, man?
position.
It looks straight
Got
out
a
of
couple
Halo.
Pistols, a Marshall, but a very weak investment from this defensive side. And the door, you're talking about it swinging wide open. Well, I think realistically it has on this map now from Movistar Koi. They were behind. It was looking unlikely, but
Playing for fun.
the
I
lead
mean,
is
honestly, a
theirs
lot of
and
these
the
players
economy
might
in
be
their
playing
back.
to try stay in the
It's gonna
league.
get stronger after this round, hopefully.
Yeah, I think right now this is the equivalent of like cage fighting Valorant. It's going blow
More of
for
a
blow.
mud fight.
You a big fan of the mud fights?
That's how we warm up before every cast. That's
Cyrax.
how I've warmed up to
this.
this.
No, it's not me. Are you sure? Is that Paper then? Is Paper
Oh,
then sneaking
damn
into
it.
the building?
That's right, he does a great British accent.
Just for the mud fights so that he leaves again. Oh. Well, there goes Felu.
Oh,
And the second Canis managed to fight two with a ghost.
Two players TPing in
30 seconds left.
against, they know it's a low buy, right? They do know that.
He's have a decent idea. He's now got a rifle as well. He was the weaker weaponry, and it's a chance for Canis. He comes out with 4. That's a pay safeguard thrifty. And both rounds have just gone back and forth.
So back to the mud fight. I mean, I think it's a fair assessment. What in the world was that? Salvo sent in a small gap for you to play
I was gonna. I
around.
wonder if he's gonna show
A
this.
flash pop, the blinds hit.
Dude, I was
Oh,
really
come
wondering,
on.
are they gonna show
That
it?
is just messy. Kana didn't even get blinded fully. He dodged it. It played against Felu, and Grabinho
It's a great
says, "Oh,
replay, to be
follow that
honest,
up.
though.
You were the starter, I'll be the main course.
I
and
half
he
wanted
aces
them
the
to
goal
show
for
the
his
Euro, and I half didn't want them just for
Maccabi
his
is so
sake.
good, yes, very well played, but also, what were you thinking?
I mean,
On Movistar
It's
Koi,
meant to
that is
be-
8-8 and an advantage
meant to be
thrown
server
away.
time stuff, but.
Well, it's been a back and forth.
Royal
Definitely
Gemini,
not my
thank you
favourite
so
total
much.
form I've ever
Appreciate the 24 months. Thank you for the
Good
2
things have
years.
happened. Scoreline's level.
Yeah, good time for that one, Royal.
That's a
Thank
fair
you very
assessment.
much.
Both teams coming in with
Anonymous
a
as
bye.
well.
Yep.
With the gifted to GG next.
Freddie Coy.
Yeah, that is one of those demoralizer rounds. If they lose this as
Space in the
well,
middle. There hasn't
they've got no
really
money.
been much of a
And they're-
contest.
I'm not saying there's
Other than
no
the
comeback from that
aggression.
round, but my
Currently
goodness, if
coming
you
out
don't win
from
this
Click
one,
with the operator.
it's
a
feeling
lot
rough.
of map control that he's able to hold on to. Come on, unless they're going to go back and clear it.
Euro is
very
just
late.
too
I
hard
have
for
a
some
feeling
people.
this
I mean, Euro
almost
is.
telegraphs itself as
It's one of the
a bit
harder
of an
agents in
A
the
hit.
game. Like, it's an hours agent. It's an hours agent, and at the same time, there needs to. Wait, what? How's this guy survive?
There was a second player there. Grabinho bought extra shields, I guess. Don't know how he survived that onslaught. Kamek, it's an easy fight onto Felu. No one's there to follow him up either. They're so fragmented in the push out. Grabinho, 5 HP, but he'll survive with Kamek falling. Mini has the angle.
Damn it.
Almost had the pick. It's Click to find that,
Shot.
but an immediate response that leaves Mini alone. He can isolate a fight on site, and he knows it, but he also knows the other player is going to be quick to run to his aid.
One enemy.
And
Nice
that
shot.
leads to another isolated
Oh,
duel with
Shadus
the plant
didn't
now
commit.
coming in. That's going to put him in a box. And he knows
Fast
exactly where
reposition.
Shados is. Shados had a tough game so far. I love this, just hiding, waiting for his timing. He
Damn,
spotted
nicely
him and
played,
he'll eliminate
man.
him with
Dude,
ease.
he's playing well, though,
Gentlemen,
Mini.
they fell
Playing
behind,
good.
but they are right
Well,
back
that's what I was
into
talking
the
about
lead.
the money.
Movistar
Money's
Koi
fully gone now from
stalling out,
Koi.
and that's a big
They gotta be
investment
feeling
as well,
gutted
Tom.
about
Their
these.
economy put into that round. It's going to leave them in an awkward spot as their opponents steal that lead back.
The Red Bull clutch for Mini, and I have to say, like, of players that have sort of come up from the tier 2, I genuinely think he might be my favorite.
Stun
And that's
dodge.
including, you've got players like Zeus, who has been phenomenal, Levin as well, we saw yesterday. But this guy's just so cerebral in the way he plays, and then taking up the mantle of the IGL while doing it.
Yeah, those
I'm right
back-to-back
there with you
rounds
guys.
gotta
Yeah,
make you
I'm right there
feel.
with you.
Gotta make you
A
feel
few
awful.
frustrating rounds, I feel.
I would not want to be on the receiving end of this timeout from Movistar Koi. I think there's going to be a few notes. I think we might
Can
see
we bring back
he-
Dice? Can we bring him back? I need.
Mate, his heart
Please,
his heart
guys,
can't take it.
please.
Go crosshair? I mean, it's all just
This
preference.
wouldn't be a please. This would be a stand up and shout till you get
It's
lightheaded.
been a thing for a long time.
A
It's
tough
just
situation.
Well, you know,
maybe
Think
more people
Gorilla's
using
waving
it.
the hands.
I can think of a previous man from Koi who would do
They're getting
excellent
active.
in these scenarios.
Oh yeah.
There'd be a hole in the desk.
The desk would be lopsided at this point. His chair would have fallen over 6 different times.
I do miss the Baba reactions. I genuinely, that's one of my highlights of the entirety of last year, is just seeing, like, every time it cuts to him, he's the most emotive man. And then you talk to him, super chill.
Super chill.
Super
absolutely.
chill. It's like, it definitely doesn't leave that moment. Koi's,
This is a weird stat because it's like,
hey, there you go.
is every kill tradable in some situations?
That is a stat.
That is a stat. That's
9
one
to
that we
8. Mates.
Why are you
See, I
against
don't
marriage,
really
man?
wanna
I'm
say,
not
like,
against
got the
marriage.
lead
I just
back
don't want to get
because
married.
The rounds that
There's no talent.
People can do what they want. I don't care what people do.
This is anyone's guess.
Okay, it's done out.
Seen more predictable roulette wheels out there from Movistar Koi, but it's a weak investment. That's the one thing going for them. But if they can get onto a site, Viper's Pit, to secure that late, to get that plant into a much more comfortable position, and they are putting pressure on A. Just all right, Flya, calm down. Cat has gone pushing. Cat has got his back to the player, and they've just seen him. Filu's got a freebie out of that.
I love the gate crash. It was almost like a bait, like,
He would have seen that go by and say, "Where's that coming from?" Oh goodness!
Kamek's responded once again.
With
Puts
a rolling
things back
thunder.
into a 3v3. The cage fight continues.
He solo ulted them with a rolling thunder to get one pick, but at least it's Flya.
Well, it slowed them down.
It slowed them down and got rid of the pit as well. That's something to write home about. Nice repeat from Kamek.
A nice round, mate. You got another one in you?
4 in fact, and
Wait,
I think
he
Mini's
spotted
gonna
him and then
steal
he...
away
Oh,
the
they're actually
ace.
trying to give it to
This
him.
is the moment we truly get to see what kind of teammates
They're
you've
actually
got.
trying to give it to him.
Click, going into the angle. They'll see
Damn,
him, and he calls
nice,
it for
bro.
Kamek. Beautiful teamwork.
Lovely.
A
Real
team building
nice.
exercise and an ace for Kamek. Confidence sky high with double digits
chance.
under Gentlemate's belt. With how that round started, of course it ends with an ace.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, in a lot of rounds like that, when your opponents have a bit of a low buy, you don't really get that excited about an ace, but
He's
it
staying
actually
in,
needed.
yeah.
Like the way
He
that this
secured
round
it, straight.
started off. Well, we cut to moments later. I don't know if I think
Yeah.
the smiles might have faded quite quickly after that one, but yeah, definitely an important round for Kamek. And
But again, let's look at what's
Yeah, it's the
I
set
like
strap.
This old committal. Fly is not
Ah,
safe, not
it's a
by
nice
any
one.
means. And when Click
We've
coming
seen
through the
teams doing
smoke,
this.
there
It's
is no
very,
escape.
very strong.
Movistar Koi only sent into A though. It's going to be the push towards the B site from the majority of the members.
Again,
of
it's
the
just
Seed play.
breach damage to
Pulling
cover
in
up.
from Filu
Sorry,
with the
Teo
dimensional
damage,
drift, but Click
breach
does the
damage here.
same. He's going to grab
Salvo,
information
salvo.
now. Planter spotted, no one else. Where
Don't
are
know
they?
where to hide.
They could be a main,
Maybe
but
actually it's salvo
read
here
there
and
that
breach
it's a deep
damage here.
push into the spawn.
Oh
Rolling thunder.
boy, dude,
It's
he
a
used
huge mistake.
he used the
Click
tech.
flying under the
Oh
radar.
no.
He's picked up
He
more.
used the tech
Although
to
he'll
get
be
up the
denied
top
the
and
ace.
it ended up
That's
getting
another
on.
big individual round
He
for
used the
Gentlemates.
breach jump tech with the ult.
That they pushed him into the air.
Yep.
That's so funny. I don't think I've ever, because if he just sits in the corner, he's fine.
No,
Guys,
yeah, if he
into it.
doesn't
That
try and
is-
boost
that's
himself.
great. I like that. I don't know if
Replay of that.
Can we get the replay of him flying into the air and then dying in the back?
Here we go. Here we go.
I kind of want it from the other POV. Oh, that's
Oh
fantastic.
boy.
He's managed that.
Everyone acing after each other, no?
That's a 4K. It's a don't get overexcited, all right?
You know,
Didn't
he
get that
could have
last-
had the ace.
Yeah,
He didn't
they
turn
lost the
around.
fight.
There you go. You go. Misclick.
This click. I like that.
11 to 8. We've had some rounds.
Their rounds have happened, Tom, and I've witnessed them.
And their opponents went into that with 5 ultimates over on the Koi side. One of them got them the site, and one of them
lost them.
one of them
Okay.
helped Shados throw it back for it.
A little bit of. Did they even do
his
B pressure?
opponent.
Maybe a
Themselves
maybe a
set up.
flash.
The Armageddon.
Oh
Ready,
no, how many's the
raring
drone
to
gonna
go.
see?
Although info has definitely been had. And they have no map control. They are fully committed to A.
Beautiful thing is we talk a lot about the combination of breach alongside your Teho. I think here the stun sent through, but the ult is that little bit late. It's given space. In fact, it's given fake information.
It's a good trade.
Koi thought they
Honestly,
were safe
Gentleman's did
to
pretty
take that
good.
fight, to TP deep into sight.
their
Not
reaction
only was
here.
Kamek
That's
there,
nice.
but the ult left that little gap for the run through coming in from Zipan. Now they've shut down a few players, and good space taken by the attackers. But where do they take it in the end? Where do they head towards? Because there's re-aggression from Kamek, and he's catching them coming back out of heaven. Luckily, Solkus is repositioned, has caught him off. Now, Kata.
Surely you checked this though, right?
This little
30
corner.
seconds left.
4 players on their way. They've seen him right behind.
Okay.
Beautiful clearance by Solkus.
Did the
and
double
much
check,
needed.
but kills the kill, and we checked it.
The one player with low credits.
I would love to see that ult combo with, if we could get Shados on a breach and Governor on the Teho on the same team, it would be an interesting, like, see which one, or how they complement each other.
Oh,
I'm good. Honestly, I'm good.
Amphi
So maybe
0401
we'll
with
do
the
an
prime.
All-Stars
Thank you for the
game
2
at
months,
some
mate.
point. Mini big frag in IGL, but
Yeah,
I don't think he's going for this one. He's gonna just
We can do a
contain
show match, and you get them two, and I'll
get free picks on the other side. I'll take
Did
that.
they win a
I'll
pistol on a
choose.
bonus? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
And
probably
they're still
choose
like
a few
only
players from-
Justin.
I
Only
think
Justin
I'll
this
take
game.
I know,
With a
that's
double
funny.
pistol with one of them being a
So
bonus,
much,
yeah.
No, but it is one of the conversations
And
we've had.
floor. I'll take floor as well. I think this sounds like a fair team,
Extrified,
honestly.
thank you
It's
so
just
much, bro.
balance,
Appreciate the
balance.
prime.
Okay.
Thank you for the 5
Once
months.
I get to decide your last 2 players, I think that's fair.
Honestly, with the 2 you've chosen, I think I'm good.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, you're throwing more shade than me. I'll take that. All flank the Tombiz. But a 2-round gap between these two, and we talked a lot about those frag and IGLs throughout this season. Mini, I think, is one of my favorite. You mentioned him as, you know, one of the best players that's come up from that tier 2, but I think especially with the games they've had, he has just been a beacon of positivity, a shining light of hope on the Gentlemate side in so many of these rounds, not just in how they're playing, but also how he's playing as an individual.
I guess Kamek also somewhat fits that bill. We obviously had a preview
Tier
in the
2,
league
yeah.
before, but this was the sort of first official pickup.
Okay,
and
insta
he's had
drone
some
over towards
crazy
middle.
good
They know
games
that they
on an
created pressure
individual level
by
especially,
blocking
and
vision.
obviously made it all the way
Question marks created.
earlier in the
They
year
did
to
a
Masters,
fake
so
decoy over towards Ace. They're trying to create
don't
pressure
think
with
the
the
piece is
wall up,
necessarily on the
smoke up
main
as well.
side
So
are
in theory, they think they've done question mark
necessarily needing
into
to
send it.
change for them
Yeah,
to
like the
fix
like
things
on this
going
one.
into the
Quite
next season.
in an okay position. If they
Luke
can get this kill back
taking on-
side.
That's the second time. Gravino is just getting wrecked every time he tries to
Oh
TP.
yeah, no one can kill this
But
guy
while
back
this
side.
B-side take, yeah,
Dude, it's really not working well. Kata's just locking it down over towards
You
there.
can look at it one of two
Some rounds
ways,
he's
though.
played
Like
really
the
well.
last
Some rounds
time,
it's just
his
gifted to him,
Yoru
to be
had been
honest.
decimated by his own flash on backside, so
But,
there wasn't much he could really do. But
I mean,
here,
the
Feel was
first
tucked in a corner
20
and just
seconds of
let
this
his
round from
teammate
Koi
die.
were pretty
Like,
nice.
Gravino thinks there's going to be some cover, but there isn't. And it's whether it's miscommunication
And
or
then-
misplay from one or the other, the result is the same. It's a 5v2.
Then
Movistar
it's
Koi
not
locked out of
great.
the site. 30 seconds on the clock. And
Where did
we
the
see
where did the
Solkus on the
salvos go?
move.
Why did they not have
It looks like
salvos
they're
for
still
back
gonna
side?
commit to it. Economy not healthy on a bunch of players.
How do we not get into
2v5,
sight?
not
It's meant to
looking
be
like it.
salvo,
I would
salvo,
like to see them
stun,
save, certainly with
TP.
20 seconds left. I just see Solkus getting
How are we not
more
TPing
aggressive
to the
little
back
by
of the
little.
site?
Yeah, I guess he's finding a place to just tuck in something a little bit more.
Did they just use that all their
It's
util for a
definitely a lot
default and then
closer
didn't wait for the
to
refresh?
opponents than anywhere else on the map.
If he gets 2 picks, what's going to happen? They still buy up, and if they lose a round, well, they won't be on.
Confidence.
Fair
The
enough. Fair
salvo,
enough.
default, and
That's what it's all
pillar.
about. Is the orbs also were quite far away, and that's another concern,
Oh,
right?
okay,
Mates
because they're
now on
going for
12,
this
3
TP
chances to
because they
close
feel
it,
like they
and
can't
big
do the other
ultimates on the
TP.
way to coming
But dude, they
online.
can just do the
They can have
normal
that rolling
TP. They
thunder
just
for
messed it
themselves,
up.
The dimensional drift on quick, and that's been enough to secure rounds at times. Again, it just feels like a misread when they're going in. It feels like they think on Movistar Koi that they have a lot more space, or that Gentlemates have conceded a lot more space than they ever really have.
Three chances.
Yeah, I think also some of the time when we
3 chances and there was a double pistol here. Oh boy, it's this a shocker. Like this is an absolute shocker for Koi. It does get worse and worse every time we watch it. Feels like.
Thrown in onto the A side. They went, okay, you put that there. I'm going to step out. And I'm going to go back to where I was. And there hasn't really been a lot of follow-up on the utility that they've been using. So obviously a bit more of a free-flowing game. Both teams already out of contention for playoffs.
I like that they're going back to mid. I think it's the right call here. They've embedded one player, getting past that one-way smoke that Kata put down. They know that's going to be more passively held. They need space elsewhere.
Oh my
And
goodness,
that's
he was
a lot of
so
damage done.
close to
Actually,
getting that
Fly a
second
little
kill.
more healthy than I
Good
expected.
Omen
That
flash.
pick could still be used.
Clone.
Kata, though,
Wait, you
is
can
on him.
Omen flash the
Looking for
Teo
one, and
salvos?
only finding it Zipan now on the
Didn't
side.
even realize
So
that was
many
an
times they've gone
interaction.
in here assuming the space to be free, but now they fight for it. The reward is plentiful. A 3 versus 2 post plant should be theirs.
They'll get the post plant. I see Mini alive, and I still believe they're going to be able to take this one over the line. Click, looking for that first point of contact. A player up in heaven. Soulcat's spot, one needing to be cleared, and well,
Nice.
more than ready for that swing to come through. At least a little bit of extra information for Mini, but it's not going to be happening.
And they have the
Solid
ult
ball
here
from
as
the
well,
side of
so
Movistar Koi, just
might be able to get this
away
2 to 1.
for taking us to overtime. Probably our first one of the week.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's been any or many OTs so far. And in fact, this is going to get a pause out of Gentlemates. They'll take a minute to gather themselves, and I think that is showing that little bit of resurgence from Movistar Koi. Thing is, they haven't been able to connect 2 in a row just yet.
Does he have a birthday hat?
Good trade.
That's the real question.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Nice. Keep going.
Just for reference, this is not
Yeah, the
type
players-
of pause.
First of all, the players can't hear that. Second of all, that's not the pause. That would be a very strange line of motivation. All right, boys, keep going,
Especially-
keep going.
No, not
keep
even
going.
that. Nice trade. Like, just in the middle there, we're not even playing at the moment.
But to be honest, that is valid feedback at this point. I think the big difference between Movistar Koi putting up rounds and them not is those trades. We've seen them in so many rounds. It's painful. Get the advantage even, and then throw it away one by one by one.
Daddy
Whether it's a
worship,
low
thanks so
buy-
much for the tier 1, mate.
And that's the other
Appreciate the
frustrating thing. When you're
23
on that
months.
low buy, that's where we see teams
Almost the 2
typically
years, mate.
stick together.
The players hear that?
coagulate,
No, they
push,
don't hear
and
that. You're
hasn't
muted.
happened in a lot of these rounds. Last time, we're seeing elements of that. And if they can keep it up 2 rounds in a row from this
The
point,
coach
3
and the
total,
assistant coach
it's
can
not
talk to
that
each
big of a
other.
task.
Hungry
Who's
hippos.
called this hungry
Mates have
hippos?
grabbed
Mates have grabbed
1.1, 14
ult
ult
for
orbs
every one their
for
opponent
every one
grabs
of their
this year.
opponent grabs this year.
It's not that many more, to be honest. It does show they're playing that map a little bit more.
With the
Where
amount
do we
of
even get
rounds,
this from?
It adds up.
1-4, I mean, that's 10 to 11.
Wait, we're counting how many ult orbs people are grabbing? That's kind of cool.
One
Huh?
extra orb
Probably like
for 10, but
300
yeah, sure.
rounds. Yeah, adds up.
If they play,
They're
I mean, if
hungry
it,
hippos, all right?
if it was in the foot
They're
BBL game,
hungry mates.
they just need one map. They'll have a huge
I want
advantage.
to know who named that hungry.
You didn't see the stat? You just thought I was losing my mind talking about hungry hippos.
Well, it's all been fun and games so far, but Mates on the verge of connecting their map pick with Icebox up next.
It goes to head to
And
head.
This is a map that we expected to be a little back and forth.
And
You
K-Corp
referenced the
beat
results
Mates.
against Liquid. Rolling Thunder response very
Dude, look at the
early
mini
on
map though. Look
from
at the mini map.
Gentlemates.
They've absolutely owned them.
They've tried to force the issue on that ramp push, but there's
And
no
it's a
one
your
there. Instead, the push is
TPs to
coming from
join
other
the
side. A
team.
Great fake by Movistar Koi. They get space. They drop Kata. Keep going. Keep going.
Well, no need for a nice trade. They haven't lost any players yet. There we go. And there's a nice trade. Wonderful stuff. Rubinho. Nice.
Yeah, try. Ooh, nice shots, man. Nice shots. Well, we said they might be able to get it to 1 with the
One
ults.
more round, and then we will be heading
And-
to overtime.
I don't know what
Dude,
his
imagine they
warm-up
steal this
routine
map.
is, but apparently 20 rounds is enough because he has certainly woken up coming into that
Well,
round.
you just got
An important time.
If he stops using Shadow Step,
Oh
Rubinho
my
is the best player in the
goodness.
server.
It's a nice shot.
That's very true. Yeah,
It's
those,
nice shots
those
this round.
steps have not been shrouding very much at all. Been left in
Quankalizer,
the
thank
open.
you.
Once
Thank
he's
you so
in that
much.
position,
Thank you for the 16 months. Appreciate the
lot
prime
better
usage,
looking.
mate.
now Movistar Koi, a team that we questioned them at the half, but they had a burst of rounds that brought them back into it.
Oh,
now,
this is
the
saying the
gap
skill
bridged
level of
to just
Valorant has been
one.
decreasing
A
since he
chance to
left.
hammer home
That's a good
victory
one.
here and now. No big ultimates to bail Gentlemates out of a bad
I don't even
situation
know
either.
if,
They used that Rolling Thunder.
if you guys
It
are
was
just
baited
baiting me
out
or if that's
in the
true
previous
these days.
round beautifully by Movistar Koi. Now they reap the rewards. Gate crash sent down towards the sewers. Fielu is going to get aggressive, looking for a pick with this off. His chance given. The shot landed in the other direction.
Thinking below. Definitely not the start that Movistar Koi were looking for. With Dimensional Drift available, going into the late round, Mates can use that either on the retake or just to get information. Movistar Koi in the last round did well to sell that ruse.
What's the reason for no crowd? Wait, there is a crowd today, right?
Already.
I think.
Selling ideas on either side of the map, sending the fake out through as an attempted fake, and it has somewhat worked. Rotation coming in over onto that A side of the map as they still look
pause.
pretty committed over on B.
Oh, Oh, Mini stopping them in their
Might
tracks.
be enough. Next
OT
kill.
being contested
Oh,
late
he
into
saw the
game.
gun.
Fly,
Oh,
it
yeah,
looked
Kamek's
like he
absolutely
pulled it
saved
back,
him.
but Kamek's
Ooh,
on
nice
site
shots,
to
bro.
close it
Nice
out.
shots.
Mates
Oh,
will
dude,
take
Koi won
their
double
map pick.
pistol and
Took the
bonus
nail,
as
but they
well.
get
It
there
looks a
in
lot
the
closer
end.
than it actually is.
13-11 and 1-0. Up